Hello, everybody, and welcome to our bi-weekly question and answer session with our VP, Josh Hewlett. He's here to answer any questions. Hello, Josh.
Hey, David, how you doing?
Good. I'm doing great. It's been a while since I've been on. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, man, good to see you.
But yeah, anybody who has any questions, just go ahead and throw them in the chat and we will answer them for you as quickly as possible. And, if you have any comments, just throw them in the chat as well. We love to see them. We love to see the great testimonials and the great feedback in there as well. So we appreciate everybody for showing up. Josh, so how is everything going with you? What's your latest and greatest?
Man, it's like every time I come on, it's like, I'm talking about my weight loss or I'm talking about something cool that's happening, but we're getting a lot of great insight, questions and a lot of great testimonials. And one of the biggest questions that I keep getting over and over and over again is about, John did a little bit, the little teaser on the affiliate kickoff that we had about, some new products. And I just wanted to let some people, the people know in the Q&A that, yeah, we do have a kids product coming out that's going to be really exciting. And we also have like a BCAA, like a recovery product that, Cardio Miracle is great for recovery, but we're also going to get one with some of the electrolytes and things like that. And so sometimes I add salt to sea salt to my Cardio Miracle. So, David, have you been able to do anything with recovery with your original Cardio Miracle?
Yeah, I actually add an electrolyte in and some creatine. So I'm really excited for our product so I can just get it all in one. Creatine is great for ATP within the heart. It's known as like a reserve battery. It can store some energy for you. So, depending on your allowable salt intake, that can be great for people with heart failure and such.
Heck yeah, man. No, I've heard so many, I'm older than you, obviously, but when in 2002, believe it or not, like a lifetime ago, my kids call it the 1900s, even though it was 2002. But I was in high school and creatine had just come out. And so all my friends were getting on creatine. They're like, man, I'm getting huge. I'm getting muscly. But I actually have done so much research since 2002 on the benefits of creatine and how valuable it is actually for the brain. Have you read any about that, about creatine?
Yeah, I've read a lot of the recent studies that have come out showing, positive benefits for creatine. So it's going to essentially bring water into the brain, and that's going to help with the benefit of the brain, oxygenation, and just full function of the brain. So creatine helps you store water throughout the entire body and your muscles. So it's really good to stay hydrated, to keep your brain hydrated. Yeah. And maybe something special that I don't.
Well, I just know that it helps me with my workouts. It helps, and these, obviously Cardio Miracle is going to help me with the lactic acid buildup, and it's going to help me go harder, longer, and I'll be able to lift more. But with the creatine, I actually can see it in my chest and my arms, and that is exciting for someone like me that has so much insulation, is what I call it. And although I've lost 200 pounds, it's still exciting to be able to see the results. And I think a lot of that comes from not only nitric oxide, obviously, but from the creatine, man. It's really awesome.
Yeah, really, the brain function is what I noticed the biggest, is just the mental clarity and my ability to move through problems at a much easier pace. That's kind of the actual things that I feel with it. And then, of course, when I go do something very strenuous that requires a lot of, use of water of my body, it's great to just have that little extra bit in there.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. As you've been talking to customers, what's a common question you've been hearing a lot lately of?
Actually, we moved a lot of the customer calls to Camille.
Yeah.
but it's always kind of the common things. The protein question's a big one. Timing's the big one. And timing's really the big one that I see the biggest misconception on. Some people like to take it at night. Like my father, he takes it before bed and it helps him go to sleep. For me, it does the opposite. And, that's, he's my DNA. So like, it's a little bit different already. But if I take it earlier in the day, like I took my serving a little bit later so I could be sharper for this call.
Yeah.
But it will, by the time 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock rolls around, like I'm ready to go to sleep if I take it at 6. So you can move and adjust that, take it after your meal, take it before your meal. A lot of the times I like to take it at 3 or 4 o'clock in the day and just give myself that extra boost to, get through that midday hump essentially.
That's awesome.
And then, the 24 to 36 hours of nitric oxide production is going to be crucial for, getting through the sleep, producing nitric oxide while I sleep, relaxing my cardiovascular system, because those little capillaries run throughout your entire system. And if we can relax those, we've seen results with restless legs, just anxiety in general.
Heck
and
yeah.
then, the magnesium, the zinc, and the vitamin E is really going to help with support sleep. So
look at that. Mindy is so kind, man. Yeah. Mindy, I talk about it so much, but yeah, I've lost 200 pounds. That was me in a 7XL suit jacket that was custom made. And then on the left side, it was me at my wedding a couple months ago in a 2XL. So yeah, it's been huge. Cardio Miracle has been at like the cornerstone of my weight loss, intermittent fasting. I was in ketosis for 2 years of my weight loss. And now I'm more well-rounded. I do 160 grams of carbs a day. I do 220 grams of protein, 80 grams of fat. And I'm trying to get down. My next 12-week goal is to get on 250. I'm sitting about 280 right now. So it's really exciting, and I talk about it a lot, so thanks for everyone's patience. but thank you. No, it's been a journey, and it's something that like people say all the time, oh, Cardio Miracle helps me lose weight. And Dr. Avery, actually, the brain surgeon, he explains how nitric oxide does actually assist with weight loss. I mean, what we've proven with our vitamin D study, if you go to cardiomiracle.com/studies, you'll see with our vitamin D study that we prove that what happens with your stored fat cells, it's actually Cardio Miracle is utilizing the stored fat cells in your body in order to produce more vitamin D. And so thank you so much, Doris. Is that Doris? Yeah. And thank you. But like, it's just so exciting that I've been able to take my health into my own hands since 2021. And I counted today, actually, with Google's help, that I have been at this journey for 1,755 days. So wow. It's been a trip, man. I'll tell you what.
It's amazing.
But yeah, man, like today I've got 22,000 steps. I mean, I'm just a stepper. I'm a pacer. Like right now sitting in front of a webcam is kind of tough for me, but it's all good. It's really cool. But David, have you heard anything from any affiliates or anybody about them having success with losing weight?
Specifically affiliates, no, but I've definitely talked to some customers who have seen it, reduce in the gut line kind of almost immediately. Because, getting that blood flow and helping reduce inflammation around the endothelial is really important. And that's going to help reduce inflammation around the skin. And it's also going to help your body function better, process food better, the blood flow to the gut. So it's going to also help load you with prebiotics to kind of, fulfill the needs of the gut and the microbiome so that it can function better. And this is going to eventually reduce bloating. It's going to detox your gut. So we've seen a lot of great things. I used to kind of have like a little bit of a gut when around COVID, I was telling you earlier. I know I was 195, which is kind of heavy for me, especially just sitting around. I usually sit at around 165, and I was like that skinny kind of fat. I had a big gut, little arms, and I was like, what's going on? And I started drinking the product, and my gut size just reduced. It cleared out my gut, and it actually regulated my, my bowel movements every day.
Yeah.
Instead of having to go to the bathroom a couple times in the morning, it would be one time done. And that really made, my life just more efficient and better instead of having to go back and forth. I'm from the military. So, the diet that they gave us essentially destroyed my gut microbiome. And I have to be very, very picky with what I put in my gut. I can't even eat a lot of vegetables, but I need all those nutrition from the vegetables. So Cardio Miracles are a really great way for me to get it without inundating my body with cruciferous greens or too much fiber even, because it just doesn't work well with my system.
Yeah. Yeah. Great question came in. Are there pre-probiotics in Cardio Miracle?
There are prebiotics in Cardio Miracle, and that's going to be like your fruits and vegetables and your nitrogen rich vegetables to kind of support the system in a natural manner. It can always be good to add some extra probiotics in.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I supplement with a probiotic as well. Just for that little help, and then some additional magnesium and the omegas. And that is actually what we're going to be adding in the new recovery product is some omegas. And so we're going to have that in the Cardio Miracle family. And those, from what I understand, is we have a PO in, which is a purchase order. And so that we have an order in with our manufacturer for the new products. And so we're hoping that we get that by, probably around March or something. So stay tuned. That'll be a good little fun thing. So we had Mindy say, I tried it, but I don't think I was on it long enough to get the benefits. Money, old age, pension here. I want to try it again for longer. The biggest thing with this, Mindy, it is a sensitive subject, we know. And the hardest thing with a lot of people obviously is to make it a priority. And with our subscribe and save, I know that's kind of a scary thing for some people to be locked into a subscription. You do get 15% off with free shipping, and you could get it and you could adjust the time frame. You don't have to get it every 30 days on the day. Like if you call our call center, I've actually trained them personally to make sure that they could help, people span that out a little bit longer if they want. But consistency is the key with that. And I mean, I think we have deals, David, that gets it down to just like $1.13 a serving or something like that, right?
Yeah, $1.27 a serving on our 180 serve quarterly ship, and so that's basically $2.50 a day, and that's cheaper than an energy drink. That's cheaper than most coffees, and you're supporting your system, you're energizing your system, and you're improving your health. And Mindy, I'm curious to see how long you took it and how many servings you took a day. If you at least took the 2 a day, and we really recommend, to stay consistent for like 45 days. That's why we do offer the 90 serve, is so we can really see the impact of the product. Really 30 days of consistent use isn't going to make the biggest difference. And I believe you just had a guest on, Josh, and she spoke about that. She said, we're so used to instant gratification from the pharmaceutical industry that like we don't want to stick with something for 45 days that's a natural product and wait for it to naturally heal our body. And that's what Cardio Miracle does. And that's, we're not a booster either. Like some people have like, oh, I wanted to move to a booster because it doesn't have, the nitrogen rich vegetables in it, or it doesn't have the beetroot in it. Yeah, but you're actually doing yourself a huge disservice by putting a booster in your system, loading yourself up with the peroxynitrate, and not reducing it with any antioxidants within the system or the blood. So, and that's why we want to stimulate nitric oxide naturally by feeding your body the nutrition as opposed to just boosting it.
Right. Yeah, man. I love it. That's such a good point. And it's so true, when we're trying to boost something, like none of us got this way overnight, like I didn't get up to 480 pounds just by eating a Big Mac, I mean, that was years and years. Oh, we just got a drum roll or something. That was cool. And so the thing is like, it is something that we have to look at and make sure that we're prioritizing. And so, I also just answered another question in the chat. Someone asked, Josh, you spoke on another chat, you take gummy peptides, you recommended any brand. So, what I was talking about on the other podcast or recording was that I take a gummy for creatine, And I recently, it was called Beast Bites, and it's pretty expensive, but this one is a better one. I put it in the chat. It's the Hearty Foods Creatine Monohydrate. And that one, if you just, it's unflavored, so you can literally throw it in your Cardio Miracle if you want, or just in a protein shake. This one I just started on, and it was like $15 or something like that. So this one is great. I'm trying this one right now. And yeah, so it looks like Mindy said she was doing 2 servings about 5 weeks. She thought that she was doing it. So as you know, with my blood pressure, Mindy, sorry to be all over the place, you guys, but with my blood pressure, it was 190 over 110 at my highest. And what I decided to go on Cardio Miracle, obviously my dad created the product. I wanted to be a product of the product. And it took me a full 12 weeks of 4 servings a day to get it down to what it is now, which is 106 over 60. And so it took me a while and of consistent use. And so your body's going to reframe, it's going to restructure, and it's going to regulate what's best for you. So are we good with that one, David?
Yeah, absolutely. And somebody has a question about the type of K2 and the type of D we use. Yes, we use K2 and D3. We do not use D2 or any other type of K. It's about 80 milligrams? Let me see right here. So vitamin D is 4,000 international units. And then on the vitamin K, we have 80 micrograms per serving.
Nice. That's perfect. And another thing is, go to that cardiomiracle.com/studies and read our vitamin D study. It is like, when you read that study, you'll be like, how did I go without this ever? Like, seriously, it is the most amazing study I've ever seen. So,
yeah, the ability to raise vitamin D with only 4,000 IU is great. You know, a lot of people like to take that 10,000, but we find if it works synergistically with other vitamins and nutrients, that you get more benefit from it, because it's the way that your body processes the hormones through the fat, and getting your body to function properly through blood flow is going to help release that. Yeah. So we see a massive difference and a massive improvement.
Love it, man. Yeah, it looks like Doris is saying, I'm still trying to figure out the best way for me to use Cardio Miracle. I'm in my 80s, and so far I put 2 scoops in some water and sip it over the course of the day. And that's exactly what I do, Doris. I think it's Doris, probably. But I do 2 to 4 scoops in a water bottle like this, and I literally drink it throughout the day. Or I drink in the morning because I go work out at 4 a.m. So I need it like right away. So that's just me. But it kind of depends on how tart you like it. But we did test that if you pre-mix it and put it in the fridge, it lasts. The efficacy is 100%. We've only tested 10 days. So, but it is 100% efficacy after 10 days in the fridge. So if I were you, I would do that in a pitcher or just a water bottle or whatever works for you. So how do you drink it during the day, David?
So when I wake up, I do 3 scoops and then a half a scoop of electrolytes, and then sometimes the creatine. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling cognitively.
Heck yeah. That's awesome.
We have some good input here from Toby Bird. I've been taking 2 to 4 times a day. I love Cardio Miracle. It helps me with intermittent fasting. CK, my AC1 today, it is down from 5.8 to 5.2, and I contribute it to Cardio Miracle.
That's huge.
That's amazing, Toby.
Woo! And that's what I did with intermittent fasting. I would start at 6 p.m. and then I wouldn't eat again until 2 p.m. the next day. And all along, I was staying satiated with Cardio Miracle, because when you wake up in the morning, you want to drink something. And every morning, the first thing that hit my tongue was Cardio Miracle, man. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't do anything else, and it didn't break my fast. I'd wear a glucose patch, and I would check my blood sugar and all that, and nothing would spike except for my vitamin D. My vitamin D would almost triple in the morning, but I have to test my blood to get the vitamin D levels. So it's just good for you, Toby. That's huge. Love it. I think that's such a testament to what we're trying to help everyone understand.
Yeah, and I was even able to reduce my cholesterol numbers as well. So blood pressure, A1C, cholesterol, raise the vitamin D levels, we see all these numbers improve, including B12.
Heck yeah, man. And it's all going to regulate out. You know, the biggest thing that I've learned, like if you go on YouTube and you type up Cardio Miracle John Hewlett and you just listen to my dad, like just listen to these interviews, that's how I've learned a lot of the things I've listened. And, you know, I've talked to a ton of customers throughout my years, but I've learned so much from listening to the Godfather, my father, John Hewlett. He just knows so much about Cardio Miracle and nitric oxide in general. And it's so interesting that every time I listen to him, I learn something new. So just type in Cardio Miracle John Hewlett and you can find so many interviews for days is what I call it. So it'll be awesome. So let's read. Does Cardio Miracle, let's see, I lost it. Shoot, where'd it go?
Does Cardio Miracle help with LDL?
Yes.
I know it helps with cholesterol and triglycerides. Mine are dropping. Woohoo. So it's going to improve your liver function and brain function as far as the cholesterol production goes for the positive. But it is always good to consume the proper fats so that your body can produce the cholesterol that it needs to in a healthy manner.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, and what I learned in watching these interviews with my father is he said, nitric oxide, don't even talk about Cardio Miracle here. Nitric oxide is the greatest regulator that you could ever put in your body. It's going to regulate all of your blood markers. It's going to help regulate whatever your body needs to regulate. And I'm so excited that Elizabeth's putting the great testimonials there in the chat. So she's putting our YouTube channel, our playlist, and if you want to subscribe to our podcast, The Pulse Beat, I mean, we're always shooting out new episodes, and we're interviewing such interesting, accomplished people. And what's exciting is that we're getting these influencers that are coming on the podcast because they want to talk about health and wellness, and then I get them on the product just by interviewing them about what they're doing, you know? So it's awesome. And then they come back on and they have me on their show and we're going out to 800,000 people and we're really getting the word out as much as we can. It's really exciting, but really excited to follow us on the Pulse Beat there. That's a little shameless plug. And also with our, social medias and everything with Facebook, Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, Twitter or X and TikTok and all that stuff, man. We're everywhere. So it's exciting.
Yeah. All right.
See any more new questions coming up?
No, I don't see any more questions yet.
Yeah, Mindy, good point. I need to start doing intermittent fasting. Good to know it works with Cardio Miracle. I was very aggressive with it because I'm obviously an extremist. I went and I did the 20-hour fasting with a 4-hour eating window. And then when I was eating for 4 hours, I was eating strict keto. When I was like starving, I was drinking MCT oil and drinking avocado oil. I don't exactly recommend that, but I wanted to get back into ketosis every time I got out of it. So, I was literally consistently in ketosis for 2 years and I dumped 180 pounds, pretty fast actually with my walking and with the recovery of Cardio Miracle. And I wasn't even doing weights at that point, but I do weights now and I do a little bit of intermittent fasting, but I break my fast in the morning at 4 a.m. when I go work out. So it's awesome. It really works both ways.
I actually intermittent fasted for about the first 4 or 5 years I was on the product. And then when I got down to a certain weight, I was like, all right, I need to start gaining weight again. I should probably start eating breakfast. But I had never felt better when I was intermittent fasting. My cognitive function was better and my overall energy levels are extremely better when I don't eat until 2 o'clock. And then as soon as I eat, I get that crash. And then that's when I drink another Cardio Miracle and it kind of lifts me back up.
Yeah, man, I love it.
I kind of avoid those wheats and starches in general. So my body's probably in ketosis. I've never really checked, but I think it's a healthy place to be.
It really is, man. I mean, it's that burning the fat, for energy. I mean, it makes sense, right? And our, ancestors would do it, in between hunts and whatever. And so it was really exciting. Really, for me, I've never had better cognitive function than when I was in full ketosis. And, I mean, I know that's not what this is about, but it was just a good path for me. And for some people it works. Other people, it doesn't really. Like a lot of, you'll not find more food and diet experts until you start eating keto. I'm not, like, everybody knows.
Well, I mean, a lot of carnivores, if you're not like doing that strict carnivore diet, if you're willing to put Cardio Miracle in your system, it can be positive for somebody on a carnivore diet and still get those antioxidants to get rid of those carcinogens from the meat without messing up your ketosis. That's the key there. Yeah. So that's what's great about Cardio Miracle, and that's why I like it. It's one of my favorite things.
It's awesome, man.
It can be taken with great diets. And, we do caveat this, like, we're not doctors, and we want you to consider your own health needs. Not everybody can do an animal-based diet. There are certain blood types and genetics where whole fruits and vegetables really are the way, and that's a considerable amount of people. And then the other half of them, it's like an omni diet. You're going to want a good balance of those fruits and vegetables, and then your fats and proteins, so that your system will work properly. What did Kennedy just made? I mean, they just made some major changes as far as like the food pyramid goes, and such as reversing it. Having all those heavy starches and wheats as the core of a diet is not healthy. It is highly inflammatory. It's hard for the gut to break down. Yeah. So, those whole foods and fruits, we're super excited about that.
Heck yeah, man. It's awesome. Yeah, it looks like Beth said, I take the product 2 times per day. I would like to have help with more consistent bowel movements. Should I try a 3rd dose? Do you want me to take that, or do you want to do it?
You go for that one.
Okay. Beth, what I would recommend, just from my experience, is what's nice about this is that it's fruits and vegetables that you're drinking here. So it is going to help. It should naturally help with the bowel movements and whatnot. And so, if you were to do more, it's just gonna help. So the thing is that some people do crank it up a little bit. And what I highly recommend is if you drink it cold in the morning, right when you wake up. And I promise you should have a bowel movement. I would think. So what about you, David? What do you suggest?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can kind of, again, feel your personal needs. If you're taking too much product and then you start detoxing and flushing, it might be time to reduce it. But most of the time, that's not going to happen unless you're like to extreme amounts. You can kind of base it off body weight. Like if you start getting 200, 300 pounds, like it's definitely great to add that 3rd and 4th serving in. I think 2 servings is perfect anywhere between 150, 200 pounds. And as you kind of go up, I would definitely encourage that 3rd one.
Yeah. Yeah. Product. The dosing really does help. And so Toby says, it's 8:30 here and I'm drinking my 3rd Cardio Miracle of the day. I'll be in bed by 10:15, have no problem getting to sleep. That's just me though. And that's the thing, Toby, is with, like, for me in the morning when I drink it, I feel awake and alert and focused. Mm-hmm. And then at night, if I can't get to sleep, I drink it and I get really relaxed. And so it's just an anomaly that I can't explain. I just think it's the nitric oxide and I've been on nitric oxide therapy for like 17 years. So, I've been taking different nitric oxide products. Like I said, the reason why I was almost 500 pounds is because I was a strongman competitor. So I've always experimented with like different nitric no explode and these different pre-workouts and stuff. And so that's really great that your body reacts that way where it helps calm you down. But then in the morning, that blood flow is going to help you, focus and wake up a little bit with that brain fog.
Amazing. Mindy has a great comment in here.
Awesome.
It says, doctor told me almost a year ago I considered cholesterol medication it was a bit high. I said no. I started eating more eggs, butter, meat, etc., and my numbers went down.
Woo! That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, and then like I tell people, who are on that heavy meat diet, like Cardio Miracle is great to get those antioxidants that you're not getting out of those heavy meats or the high fats. And I love my proteins and fats, so it's really good to detox the system.
Heck yeah. Love it, man. Yeah. So if anybody has any other questions that you need answered, please don't ever hesitate to email us at support@cardiomiracle.com. You guys, thank you so much for your comments and questions and testimonials and everything. I want to throw out a challenge that if anybody would take your phone and just film a little selfie and give us a testimonial, I'm going to send you some product. I'm going to send you some surprise products so you guys can get these testimonials out there. We love hearing them. We love sharing them with as many people as we can. Please follow us on social media and go to my story at cardiomiracle.com. Send us your videos, testimonials, whatever you got, and questions at support@cardiomiracle. David, it's such a pleasure to have you, man. Do you got anything else for us tonight?
No, I appreciate everybody's time and thank you for being here. And we'll see you guys soon.
Heck yeah. Thanks so much. Love you guys.
Bye-bye.